Robertson Neumann and chef and owner of At Your Service in my catering. Today I'm showing you a Turkish dish that is called Spinach and Feta Gozleme. Gozleme is a pastry that is filled with something, in our case today with spinach and feta, and it develops these little brown spots once we fry them. I think this is where the name comes from, because göz means eye. And here's what we need for it. A cup of flour, this is all-purpose flour, half a cup of water at room temperature, 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt approximately. And for the filling, this is spinach with garlic sauteed in olive oil, cut up feta cheese, some melted butter, and the additional flour is to flour the surface when we roll out the dough. So the first thing we are going to do is putting the flour in a bigger bowl, adding the water and the salt, and make a dough. I prefer to wear gloves when I first start the dough, because as you can see it's very sticky. And also the amount of water usually depends on the day. If it's a dry day, you might need more water. If it's a rainy day, you need less. So this is a little bit too soft, so I will be adding a little bit more of the flour. The dough came together nicely, and I'm ready to knead it now on the surface. I flour it a little bit. So now spread it out, a little bit flour on top, and bring it back, fold it over, push it back, bring it over, push it back. And we do this for approximately 10 minutes. So make sure the dough is working. Okay, so the dough has been kneaded for like 10 minutes, and this is how it looks when it's finished. So I make a little bowl and put it back in the bowl I assembled it in, and I cover it with plastic wrap and let it sit for like 15 minutes. So the dough has been sitting on the counter for 15 minutes at room temperature, and we are ready to take it out and knead it again, very roughly. And then cut it into 4 pieces. Okay, this go back into the bowl, and I need to flour the surface and roll the dough out. So I want to roll it out to a rectangular shape as close as possible. So now that it's thin enough, I cut it up to make a nice, almost rectangle, and it's ready to be filled. So I put a little bit of spinach in the center, spinach and the garlic, and make sure it's fairly dry, because we don't want any kind of liquid in there, and a little bit of feta cheese. And that's it. So we fold over the sides. And then these sides. And we have a little pouch. Flatten it down a little bit. It needs to have an even surface, so all the flour has contact with the pan. These are ready to go in the pan right now. This is a pan at medium-high heat without any oil, and they stay in there for about 2 minutes per side. Once you turn the gozleme, it's time to brush them with melted butter, and we will do the same thing once the other side is cooked. So the gozleme are ready. Take them out. So once you take them out, you also have to brush the other side with butter. So after you butter the other side, you cut it over an angle, just like this. And our gozleme are ready to eat. And voila, you have it. Spinach and feta gozleme the ooh la la way.